Nikon Z52 versus Sony ZV-E10 II. And the real question is whether the Sony, being the pricier one, actually buys you something you'll use. Sony leans hard into video and creator tools, while Nikon gives you a viewfinder and a more all-around body. But people often complain the Sony has no in-body stabilization and can overheat on long takes. By the end, you'll know which one fits you. Let's break it down. Let's start with the thing you'll notice within 5 minutes of shooting, which is whether the camera keeps focus locked while your subject moves. Both of these are good here, and neither one will have you babysitting the focus ring. The Nikon detects 9 different subject types, from people and pets to birds and vehicles, with dedicated bird and airplane modes on top of that, and it borrows its processing from Nikon's flagship bodies. That's not marketing. It's the same brain in a much smaller camera. Owners keep pointing to the auto area mode as the thing that surprised them most, saying it grabs candid shots of people and animals moving around far better than the first Z50. The Sony, for its part, leans on real-time eye tracking that people describe as almost impossible to shake off, whether it's kids running through the frame or a pet crossing the room. My take is that Sony still has the more refined tracking for a face talking to the lens, while the Nikon is the one I'd want pointed at a bird or a dog in a field. That reliability matters more once you start rolling video. And here's where the two cameras stop agreeing. The Sony gives you 4K up to 60 frames per second with 10-bit color, which just means far more room to push the look in editing without the image falling apart. Plus 120 frames in full HD for slow motion, a proper 3-capsule mic built in, and product showcase mode that snaps focus to whatever you hold up. It also streams in 4K straight over USB. The Nikon covers 4K 60 as well, with slow motion in full HD and its own product review mode. But the real story there is the color presets, because you get 31 built-in looks, plus custom ones you can pull down from Nikon's cloud and see applied live as you shoot. If you hate grading footage, that's a genuinely different workflow. The catch on the Sony is heat, and it's not a rumor. Push 4K 60, and you're looking at roughly 40 minutes before it taps out, which is fine for a talking head segment, but a problem if you film long sessions or events. Fast pans can also show some wobble in the image, so if you shoot a lot of movement, keep that in mind. For short creator clips, the Sony is the stronger video tool. For anything long form, I'd rather have the Nikon. Photos are where the gap gets wide, though. The Sony has more resolution on paper, with about 26 megapixels against the Nikon's 21, and its sensor is back illuminated, so low light is respectable. But it has no mechanical shutter and no viewfinder, and buyers who came to it for stills say the controls feel awkward, and the missing shutter is a deal breaker for certain work like flash photography. Shooting outdoors in bright sun, the screen washes out, and framing becomes a chore. The Nikon, in contrast, has an actual viewfinder, a built-in flash, dedicated dials for aperture and shutter and ISO, and burst rates that run from about 11 frames per second up to 30 in its fast capture mode with pre-release buffering, so you catch the moment just before you press the button. If photos are half of why you're buying, this one isn't close. And that photo-first design carries over to how the two feel in hand. The Nikon body has real clubs for your thumb, familiar Nikon menus, and most core settings a single button away, though there's no joystick. The Sony's interface is built around video first. The flip screen is great for filming yourself, and Sony's menus have improved, but plenty of people still find them busy at the start. Battery is the flip side of that, because Sony uses the bigger Z-series cell and comfortably outlasts the Nikon, which frankly runs short and, worth knowing, doesn't include a wall charger at all. Stabilization is the other practical gap, since neither has in-body stabilization, but the Nikon leans on stabilized lenses across nearly its whole crop sensor lineup, while Sony owners keep saying walking shots come out jittery without a stabilized lens or a gimbal. That brings up the thing people forget to think about, which is everything you'll buy after the body. Sony's E-mount is the deeper system by a wide margin, with years of first-party and third-party glass at every price, so whatever you want to shoot, someone makes the lens. Nikon's Z-mount is newer and thinner on crop sensor options, and there's a real limitation here worth knowing about. There's essentially one Nikon crop lens with a bright aperture for low light, and it happens to be the one without stabilization. You can mount full-frame Z lenses to fix that, but they're bigger and cost more. On room to grow, Sony wins this one outright. So where does the money go? The Sony is the pricier of the two, and you're paying for the video-first feature set, the bigger battery, the sharper sensor, and above all, that lens ecosystem. The Nikon costs quite a bit less and gives you the viewfinder, the flash, the physical controls, the color presets, and flagship-level autofocus in a body that handles photos and video equally. Both come as a package you can shoot with on day one, though Sony's kit zoom is the weak link in its box, and Nikon expects you to charge over USB unless you buy the charger separately. Here's the call. For most of you, I'd take the Nikon Z50 because it shoots photos and video equally well. It holds focus on anything that moves, and it costs less than the Sony on top of that. Now, if you're filming short creator clips and you want the cleanest footage and the smartest video tools, the Sony earns what it costs. But if you shoot long takes or events, that overheating will bite you, and I'd stay with the Nikon. The one thing that might flip you back is glass, because Sony's lens selection is deeper by a mile. So if you plan to build a real kit over the years, that alone is worth paying more for. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.